Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services and our CBSI Talking Business interview series. We talk to leaders in the field of digital marketing, banking, insurance, customer service, and business education, all to highlight our team at CBSI. We provide transactional benefits to the credit card and payments industry. And today, really pleased to talk to my colleague, Peteralter, about the products and services that can help customers during the holiday period that's starting up. Peter, good to see you. How are you doing today?
Oh, great. Thanks, Ken. Good to see you too. Happy that we're on the cusp of the holiday season, which should be the happiest time of the year.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're seeing increased confidence in the traveling public to travel by air this year. 20 million flyers are expected over the 10-day period around Thanksgiving, and that is putting stress on the airlines to a degree. Tell us a little bit about what you see happening in the airline segment and some of the programs that we have that are going to help credit card customers.
Ken, overall travel demand has come back. It has returned. The challenge that we see is that supply has not yet. During the COVID, the worst of the COVID impacts, the travel providers had to downsize to get through the fact that nobody was leaving their home. And now demand has come back and supply is having a hard time coming back as quickly. So what we expect to happen starting with the Thanksgiving travel weekend and then on through the holiday season and probably the winter time is there are going to be a greater chance for travel inconvenience. And what the programs that we offer here at CBSI do for travel is really break down into two categories. First one is pre-departure. Customer were to purchase travel on a transaction account that's covered with the trip cancellation benefit, and then they're unable to travel for a covered reason, which is typically a medical event, but can also be inclement weather, provider inability to deliver on a service. So for example, your flight is delayed or canceled, but you've got prepaid lodging or excursions at the point of destination, but you can't get there. Trip cancellation benefit will reimburse the customer for prepaid non-refundable expenses for events or travel that they cannot enjoy. Second bucket is the post-departure coverage, and that's what we were talking about a moment ago. That's once you start your trip, you leave your home or your office, something goes wrong. Your flight's delayed, your flight's canceled, your bags are delayed, your bags are stolen or lost. Problems like that, we cover the financial cost of those events. So try to relieve some of the stress and the worry off of a traveler that is on a trip that was paid for with a transaction account that has CBSI travel insurance benefits.
And you mentioned to me that the cruise segment is coming back, but it's an area where a lot of customers benefit from some of the services that are provided on their trips. Tell us about that.
Cruising transactions were very, very heavily impacted by COVID. Prior to COVID, cruising was at an all-time high in demand. And when COVID came, the type of travel that a cruise line represents, a lot of people in one particular space, was really specifically the biggest type of concern around COVID. That concern seems to be going away, and actually now pretty rapidly. Cruise transactions are trending higher very quickly. Started with cruises that were US based, and now we see international cruises catching up. And the interesting thing about a cruise from the risk perspective is that cruises represent a big ticket purchase. They are typically purchased with the longest lead time of all travel, so you're buying a cruise far in advance. And in many cases, the people traveling on a cruise are a little bit older. And so when we look at all the different types of travel transactions, airfare, hotel, other types of lodging, Airbnb, and so forth, and cruise lines, we see the greatest frequency of claims on cruise transactions, cruise purchases. So that is a very valuable element of the travel insurance coverage as it protects cruises, because it represents a great risk to consumers. And of course, to a transaction account provider or issuer, cruises are very attractive transactions to attract because they are big ticket items, and in many cases bring with them cross-border transactions, which are the most profitable transactions to acquire for an issuer.
Okay, and another segment that's been challenged during the pandemic is the auto rental industry, with companies, providers selling off portions of their fleet and struggling to rebuild their capacity. As you said, this has been an area we have a wonderful product. Tell us about that.
Ken, you're referring to the auto rental collision damage waiver benefit, and that is the protection that the renter must have when they drive a vehicle off of the rental agency's lot. You can buy that insurance from the rental agency. It's about $17 a day, so it gets expensive. You can use your own personal auto insurance policy if you have one to cover that car, but you will suffer a deductible, whatever your deductible is, in your personal policy if you have a claim. And you also may see a negative rate impact to your own auto insurance policy if you have to file a claim on the rental car. So what the auto rental collision damage waiver does is, in return for the rental transaction being placed on a covered account, we will provide that coverage at no additional cost to the renter. And it's actually more valuable than ever, because we are in a moment right now of huge supply-demand imbalance with rental cars. Rental cars are difficult to find. People are driving off the lot with any vehicle that has four wheels. So in many cases, they're driving a vehicle they are not prepared to drive, or it may be a more expensive vehicle than they're typically accustomed to. And actually, at claim time, the cost of claims is rising exponentially for several reasons. Things like the supply chain imbalance, which are making replacement parts so much more difficult to find, are increasing the cost of rental car repairs, and the fact that cars are out of service that need to be repaired for longer. The loss of use charges that rental agencies are looking for compensation on are higher than ever. So the auto rental collision damage waiver is also a valuable benefit to a customer that is thinking about renting a car, perhaps more valuable now than ever before.
Now, another segment that CBSI provides benefits to is retail and e-commerce, and very strong sales in third quarter for major retailers such as Walmart and Home Depot. That strength in consumer demand is expected to continue through the holiday season, both retail and e-commerce. And we have some products that can really help customers with their purchases during the holiday season. Tell us a little bit about those, Peter.
Ken, I like to think about this in the life cycle of a purchase. And a purchase can be something for yourself or an item that you're giving as a gift. When you buy something, a huge amount of items now are being bought online. And so there is a risk of what is being called now porch piracy, which represents the period of time when the delivery service provider completes the delivery to your home or your apartment, and that item is on your porch or in the mailroom if you live in an apartment, but you as the purchaser of that item have not yet retrieved or collected the item. That period of time is turning out to be a very productive time for thieves to steal those items. Those items, the shippers and the retailers will consider now your risk as the purchaser because they consider that as a completed delivery. So there is a heightened risk there before you as the purchaser even take possession of that item, of what is called porch piracy. And we have protection benefits for items that are purchased on a covered account against porch piracy. That's the beginning of the life cycle of an item. Once you as the purchaser or the recipient of a gift have actually taken possession of that item, we will cover that item against theft, against damage, against mysterious disappearance for up to the first 120 days of ownership or possession of that item. And then after that time period has passed, we will double the manufacturer's time period for the warranty coverage on the item, which guards against product breakdown. So if you have, for example, a 1-year manufacturer's warranty on an item that you've purchased, the benefits that we'll provide on a covered account, if that's the account that's used to make that purchase, the consumer will now have 2 years, an additional year. We will double the time period of the manufacturer's warranty to guard against a product breakdown. So that's how we are covering really the entire conceivable life cycle of an item that a consumer might be considering buying today on a covered account.
So valuable to customers. I think of a camera tripod I recently purchased that broke very soon after, and I can put in a claim on that item. Peteralter, always great to talk with you. Do you have a final thought as we're entering the holiday season about how CBSI products and services can help protect customer purchases and travel?
Sure thing, Ken. I mean, we just talked about sort of what I consider the buckets of purchase behavior: retail items and travel, which is yourself, your loved ones that may be traveling with you, and your belongings while you're traveling. We've got protection benefits for all of those transactions, assuming that you're using an account covered with our benefits to make those purchases. So hopefully we will keep everybody safe and happy and stress-free during the holiday time period.
And Peter, just a final thought. If a customer wanted to know what benefits are on their credit card before they make a purchase, what's the best way for them to find out?
Call the phone number on the back of their credit card, and the issuer should be able to answer that question. Or if they're a CBSI client, they will direct them to us, where we will help them either online or via 24/7, 365 live customer service to answer their questions.
Very good. Peteralter, my longstanding colleague, great to talk with you today. Best wishes for the holidays to you and your family, and we'll look forward to doing this again soon.
Great. Thanks, Ken. Same to you and yours. Hope to see you at a holiday party soon.
Very good. And this is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services and CBSI Talking Business, and all the highlight. Great work of our team. We're based in Harrison, New York. We provide transaction benefits to the credit card payments and fintech space. And again, I'm in my home office today in White Plains, New York. Thank you for watching, and happy holidays. Take care.